What is up, my love? Welcome back to the channel. I feel like I have not been here in a little bit. I even announced something new in my Instagram. That's where you're able to catch up with me. I definitely dare a lot more than here, but today, honey, we're getting into this Avani Gregg and Morphe eyeshadow palette. I also got their bronzer. Super excited to try this because this palette, it's absolutely stunning, you guys. It's just, look at these colors. Don't look at my mess, please. But these colors are just so freaking beautiful. They look so stunning. This is a collaboration once again with an influencer and Morphe. I do love the whole packaging. It's super cute. It has a huge ass mirror and it brings 30 different shades. Absolutely beautiful. We have a whole bunch of mattes. I am a huge fan of matte shadows. They're just a lot easier to create more looks with. We do have some shimmers and we also have pressed glitter in here. So again, you have a little bit of everything. I am obsessed that it has just like mainly just matte. It's just my preference. For me, I just love that kind of idea. And we have like a lot of colors. We also have a basic white and a basic black matte. Beautiful basic colors to kind of just brighten up the look or just darken up the look in case you want more of that drama. So this is perfect, honestly. And of course, I'm sure you guys are able to see the difference between like the size of the eyeshadows. We have 20 shades on the top. You can see the size. It kind of looks like we have two different palettes going on here, which is super interesting, but I'm going to tell you why. So the top here, the 21st shades are meant to be used on the eyes. You can also use it on the face as stated by Morphe on their website. And then the last two rows, as you can see on the bottom, it says wet your brush before you line. These are 10 different cake liners, so you're able to add a little bit of water onto your liner brush and just dip it in and it'll create a beautiful creamy texture to create those beautiful graphic lines. So that's exciting to be able to have that kind of option here. So let's just get straight into it, honey. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna start with a Juvia's Place eye prep eye primer. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the brows and add this all over the eyelid. This is gonna be basically my canvas to create what I'm going to create. I'm using some color and is the reason why I'm adding this everywhere and even cleaning out my brows as well with it. Next, we're gonna go to the Artistry palette and pick that beautiful green shade. It is so stunning. I'm packing it onto the crease. I'm gonna wing this out, bring it all the way outside to the outer of the eyes. I am going to be creating a cut crease. You guys know I'm a huge fan of cut creases, so I just had to bring you some of that today just to add a little bit more color. Next, we're going on to the shade, that yellow shade on the palette. Another stunning color that really is just so vibrant and radiant. I did have a little bit of problem just mixing the shades. I think it was just the way I apply them, but technically it did give me a little bit of trouble to blend the shades. So but nonetheless, it did turn out really nice. But nonetheless, you guys, it worked out at the end of the day. But you guys know blending is key, so just keep blending until your fingers hurt and it'll work out regardless. I'm gonna go ahead and clean out that crease also, and I'm gonna go in with a shade right next to the green. And this green, you guys, is a mixture of like green, kind of giving me like a deep turquoise shade. I'm adding that very close to my lash line, and I'm also gonna go ahead and start smoking that out. I'm gonna be taking that yellow and green shade one more time. I'm gonna first add that green onto that outer edge of the wing, and then the yellow to kind of maximize and really blow out that look and just create more of a smoky effect. And I'm going to be doing the same thing onto the top of that wing once again, just to really help that smoked out. I also use a little bit of that white shade in the palette just to kind of bring this, just to kind of add a little bit more, but the main focus were those greens and those yellows. I'm also going to add that black shade just to once again intensify it and create more dimension into that smoked out wings. I feel like for smoked out wings, you definitely have to start with your base color, then your lightest to lightest, and then at the end I like to add the darkest of them all. In my opinion, it just works best for me. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of a liquid liner very close to the lash line, but as you can see, I did not wing it out. Instead, I'm using that black shade to kind of like smoke it out. Now we're gonna go on to the liners, you guys. So the bottom base, as you can see. And as I mentioned earlier, you're able to use these as liners. So the one that I'm going to be using is that white, and what I did basically was scrape some off onto a paper or some plastic and added water, and it worked out so well. This went on so smooth. I added some glitter as well, just the tiniest bits, and now we're gonna go on to the face. I love to start with some hyaluronic acid and some moisturizer. Moisturizer, girl, you know my skin is dry, so I need all the hydration possible. I am using the brand Dr. Sunavia. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've really been absolutely obsessing with this brand. It is so beautiful and my skin loves it. It is dermatology tested. You can find it at Sephora. It works fucking great, you guys, and I really like their hyaluronic acid, and I also use their moisturizer at all time. It's just bomb AF. Another thing that I am obsessed with is this Benefit Porefessional setting mist. Holy smokes, this thing, I like to use it underneath my makeup and on top of my makeup. This spray, you guys, I'm not even kidding, will make your makeup last all day long. I absolutely adore it. I think it works great, and for the price, I fucking love it. I love everything about it. Anyways, moving on now to foundation, concealer. I'm using Rare Beauty, another foundation that I've been absolutely loving just because of how lightweight it's on my skin. It blends in really nice, and it just always works for my skin. I really like it. I apply a little bit all over the face. Usually I do 2 layers just because I do like more of a full coverage, especially for this kind of look that I'm doing. It's a lot more dramatic, so I like to have a more full face, if that makes any sense. I went in and added a little bit of a bronzer, cream bronzer, just to add more dimension to the skin. I added that onto the cheekbones, the forehead, a little bit on my lower lips, and also on my neck. I'm gonna add a little bit of that concealer as well, just to brighten underneath the eyes. Everything is so creamy, you guys, and it just sits so well on the skin. It feels lightweight. One of the reasons why I've really been absolutely loving Rare Beauty. I don't really hype up high-end makeup, but these stuff are just been working so well. And this blush is another one that's on my books. I need more of it. It is such a beautiful tone. Like, holy smoke, it looks great on any look. Absolutely love that blush. It's also from Rare Beauty. Highly recommend the texture. Everything just blends beautiful onto the skin. And now, you guys, all I'm doing is setting that face to make sure nothing moves around, because I do use a lot of cream products, so I do set a little tiny bit, not too much, just to ensure that everything is nice and neat and not moving anywhere. Next, we're gonna go on to that bronzer. This is the shade Cali. This is also from the Morphe X Avani, or Avani, I don't know how to say that name. Avani, you guys know what I'm saying. I'm gonna add a little bit of that bronzer. It's beautiful. It blends so nicely into the skin, you guys. It has such a just nice natural finish that I absolutely love. I tend to go overboard with bronzer, but this just look, it's something about it that is so natural and blends so nice that, wow, I just really love that formula. It's super nice. Next, we're gonna go on to the lower lashes. Of course, I'm using the same colors. We're going in first with that dark deep green, next with that super beautiful bright green, and then that yellow, just to kind of blow it out and make this look come together. I'm also going to be using eyelashes from Pretty Little Things in collaboration with Tati Lashes, and this is the style Double Tan. They are not too long, not too short, but definitely very full in my opinion. Next, for the lips, overlining my lips as always, and I'm also using this lip gloss, which is the Double Glaze by Be Perfect. It's so stunning. Okay, my love, so this is the final look. I really like how it turned out. At first, I was like a little skeptical. I'm like, oh my god, this is not going well. The colors green is a little bit like depending on what green it is really hard to like just get it to look super pretty, but I honestly like the way it turned out. It looks pretty good. Everything blended super nicely. I do feel like the base for Juvia's Place, you definitely have to let that set in before you go in with anything on top, but the shadows that I used worked out really nice. I cannot wait to use this palette a little bit more, use some of the pinks in it and some of the other colors, because it does has a lot. I also used the liner, as you guys saw, the waterline. I did scrape a little bit off onto something else, onto a surface, and added water, and it just worked really well. It did not crack, by the way, which I'm super like, whoa, go by it. I thought I was gonna like crack and look weird, but it actually went on really nicely. It looks intact still, and overall it looks super pretty. I also love the bronzer. The color that I got, it's Cali, I think, and it's just such a beautiful shade for my skin tone as well. It almost looks like my skin basically, but you know, a bit of warmth, and it just looks so pretty, so nice, so natural. I usually tend to go a little bit dark, a little bit harsh, and it tends to be a little bit too much, but this one, it's so beautiful for an everyday kind of like look. I'm sure we're not wearing bronzer every day, especially not in this pandemic, but you guys get the idea. It's just super pretty, super soft and nice. It does have some shimmer in it, but you don't really see that as much. It just looks so stunning. Anyways, my love, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Love it so far, even though I just used it for the first time. So I'll see you babes on my next one. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and yeah, thank you for watching.